Thanks, Farah. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be speaking for you today. My name is Milla Ranta. I'm an entrepreneur and interim PMO from Millainen Consulting. I wanted to give you today something really practical and grounded. There's a lot of fuss around AI, but I think all of us are now at the point that we want something practical and concrete to work on to actually get into the point where our lives look like in those fancy demo videos where AI deals with all the work that we don't enjoy doing and saves us so much time. So let's get started with transformation governance. That is one big topic that the PMO can really be the game changer in this transformation. And transformation, it is basically just a fancy way of saying transformation at scale. So, change at scale, because transformation is a change that touches all the stakeholders in your organization. It has significant impact on how people are working. It has significant impact on your offering to your customers, and also how you interact with customers. So that is basically what transformation is. And the good news is that to execute this, you already have the tools, because executing change is basically what projects are meant to do. When we think about AI transformation, I do believe that it is the ultimate test. How ready is your previous transformation, which likely is the digital transformation? So how far have you gone with that already? If you are somewhere in the middle, not really finished, you will figure it out when you are trying to implement AI into your processes and tools and the daily practices. It will also reveal you how mature is your project culture and how capable to change is your or are your people and your customers as well. Because if you start using AI and changing everything that you do with the help of AI, it will not only impact you and your people, but your stakeholders as well. So that is why we need this really mature governance over this big change at scale, because otherwise you will stumble with all the complexity that there is. And especially EPMOs, they can support in this, we could say that it's a web of complexity by doing prioritization, helping with the planning, resourcing, identifying all the dependencies, and making the change manageable for us. And why the change, the pace matters, and that we take care of the workloads of the people, the continuity and the retention there. If we don't execute the change in a sustainable way, it will sooner or later, more likely sooner, stop or shrink down, because all change needs energy to keep rolling. And if we train out all the people involved in the change, both our own people and the customers, we will be just zombies staring at the screen and not able to learn new things and not able to use those fancy tools that are being at the moment marketed for us with fancy headlines that these will change the future of project management. They won't if the people are not able to change with the pace of technology. So the governance will help you ensure that your changes are moving forward and that you are able to keep the pace while you are taking care of your people and their well-being, so that they are able to change as well as the tech is evolving fast. Also, having governance in this transformation is important because of security. So when we do drive faster this change vehicle or your car on a driveway, you know that the risks are growing the faster you go. The same goes with this transformation. So the faster you go, the less time you have to notice things, to notice the risks, to avoid. So keep that in mind as well. You need both change management and leadership. So all the practical things, technical things, and the people side. Let's talk a bit more about the practical actions that we can take. As I mentioned, you already have the tools that it takes to take care of the practical side and technical side of this transformation. So the good old project management hasn't disappeared anywhere. I think vice versa, we need now more than ever. And one interesting thing when I really put thought on how to get this transformation ongoing, I've stopped many times with the question, who should be leading that project? And now you might be surprised, because my recommendation is no one from your organization. And I'm not saying this because I'm an entrepreneur doing interim stuff. I'm saying this because of my experience before the time I was an entrepreneur. I was on payroll on different organizations. And I think I was lucky to be working for companies that were bought and then merged with other companies, or going through huge organizational changes, because I learned so much. And what I learned was that even though your organization has all the knowledge and capabilities, how changes and transformations should be done, when the change is too close, you can't really effectively use all that information and all those tools. And why is that? The first thing is that it is too close. You are so familiar with the stuff going on in your organization that in this fast-paced change, you won't be able to see the obvious that the people from outside could actually see. The second point is emotions. Even though if we are not those people that show emotions and think and solve problems, emotions first, still most of us rely on our decisions into our emotions. And that means that when something in your work is changing, and when the people around you are having stress, or they are overwhelmed or anxious by the change, that will impact your decision making as well. And the third point is capacity or allocation. If you have been in that organization for some while, it is very common that you have multiple responsibilities and roles, and people are relying on you, asking help from you. Maybe you have some team you must lead, you have reporting stuff you need to do, and then you are suddenly given this change or transformation project management role. What usually happens is that all those other tasks that have been piling on your table over the years, nobody is taking those away and allowing you 100% focus on that change with huge amount of complexity. So you are not really having that theoretical even capacity to lead the change. So all these points lead me to the conclusion that you should actually hire someone external or hire a new person to your organization to put their 100% focus on designing how we will go through this transformation, who should we involve from the stakeholders, and really have those conversations with the key stakeholders to really listen and encounter with them what do they need to be successful in this change. So I do believe that this external person would be the best one to be in charge of coordinating, organizing, and planning the change, not doing the change alone, but to help the organization do it together. So in addition, designing the real transformation with the person that actually has the capacity and tools in use to do that, you should have a lot of focus for people in designing that. When we start planning technological or software projects, it is so easy to get lost in the fancy technical details, what software we will install and when, what data migrations will be doing, what processes do we automate. But we should actually start with the people, not with the software. And even though we have heard this many times, oh, when we put those nice AI tools in front of us, they are so dazzling that we lose our focus. So that is why we need a clear plan that reminds us every day, okay, we have these fancy tools, nice, but how about the people? And when we design that change for people, we need to really stop and think how our brains work, how do people learn, how do we let go of the old habits, what type of support we need, and what is the diversity in our organization. And especially that, because different people, they face change in different ways. And if our message and actions are too monotone, we will only get a fraction of our people with us to the change. And from others, we will receive this, what we like to call change resistance. And then the gap between the people will start growing, and it takes a lot of effort and energy to heal those gaps, and it might take years. So let's not let them form to begin with, but let's take everybody on board from the beginning. To make the change rewarding for people, we should have those small wins and something that fascinates us and inspires us and proves us that this change is actually something that we need and that we should go through the struggle and all the negative emotions related to change. And the small wins should help us to see the benefits to come. So you really want to choose the first use cases of AI wisely to make it clear that it's beneficial for the business, it is beneficial for your people, for the strategical goals that your organization has set for all of you. So how can you drive those goals with the AI transformation? Put a lot of focus on thinking about that in the beginning. Then I wanted to put on stage the competence development, and now this is especially from the people perspective, because developing human skills takes approximately, on average, from half a year to 2 years, depending on how new the thing is for us. And I think AI is quite new for most of us. So be prepared that it will take a lot of time before people are really efficiently using AI and they are more productive than they were before. First, the productivity will go down because it will take time from our calendar and work. It will take some cognitive resources from our brain. So there are many humane resources we need to invest in and be patient and support the people before we can get to the benefits of utilizing the technology. In addition, taking care of the legal responsibilities like training AI literature and stuff, and also the basic AI skills and so on. Do not forget to train the human skills like emotional intelligence and resilience and communication skills, because all of those are hugely important for your organization's change capabilities. AI transformation is not something that you can do in a half or 1 year or even 2 years transformation project and then it's over and everything will be nice and steady and stable and unchangeable for the next 5 years. That won't be happen. That won't happen, I think, ever again, because the change has reached such a speed that I think we will be forever perhaps running to catch the change that is going so far in front of us. I think that's also a beautiful opportunity for those who will really step up with the change capability game and enable their people with support, with training to keep up with the pace of change. Maturity and impact. I think this is really important, and I won't be going, for example, to the PMO MI model and structures now because I bet so many others have done so during today's sessions. So if you are completely new for PMO MI, the maturity and impact model for PMOs, make sure you watch some other recordings from this day as well. What I want to point out is that before we rush into buying software and implementing that into our existing processes, it is very wise to get an unbiased assessment of your current situation. We do have limited resources, like people-wise and money fund-wise as well. So it is a good idea to start with the development tasks on your roadmap that are fastest providing you the return for your investment. So in other words, that will fastest start producing you also payback for your development efforts. And this is to prevent the situation where you, for example, buy expensive AI software first, and then you find out that you are not able to use it because people don't have the competencies or your processes are not really ready for that. And then you will waste all your money paying those expensive licenses, but that's not really producing anything for you. So what I would recommend is to first understand the current situation, what perhaps you need to do to your processes or to your tools or to your people competencies before it is wise to invest in AI software, for example. So figure out in non-biased way. PMO MI model has the free self-assessment, which I think is clever to test it out before you buy a proper assessment. But then I warmly recommend you to do the unbiased assessment by external advisors. So that will really give you clear roadmap how to invest your development funds, resources as well the next 5 years to make this AI transformation happen as cost efficiently and as productively as possible. And lastly, I want to point out this mindset. I think everybody has heard about growth mindset. I like to also discuss about learning mindset and adaptive governance. So what I mean with this is that if we are expecting the AI transformation and all the change be over after the one change project is over, we will be disappointed. And what we should do instead is to learn the mindset that every day we can learn a bit. It doesn't have to be an exhausting project sprint for one year working overtime and evenings and weekends, but we should design our daily work so that reflection, learning, and adapting to the changes that are coming is part of the daily routine. And when we get to that point, it takes some time when we adjust our mindset and daily ways of working into that state. But when we manage that, the change and all the things that we need to learn and let go, when they become a daily routine, that is when our resilience and capability to change and keep up with the pace of this fast change around us has taken a huge leap forward. And I do believe that is what could give us the competitive edge when we think about which project organizations will win the most customers in the future. So we need to think about the organization not only as processes and tools and this technical stuff, but as a living ecosystems that have continuous conversation ongoing and reflection and adaptation to the environment in this rapid pace of change. So that was a bit maybe a quick fast-paced presentations. I tried my best to catch up with the schedule. I'm operating internationally, so if you have any questions, no matter where you are, feel free to reach out to me. And maybe we have time for one or two questions, if there is any, now before we close my session.
Yeah, thanks, Milla. We do have one question for you from the audience. It's saying, are you talking about appointing partners to support AI transformation in organizations, or is this companies or interim contractors? I think this part wasn't clear.
Yeah, I think it was about when I was saying that who should lead the transformation project in your organization, and I recommended that it should not be someone from inside. I don't think it has a huge difference whether you hire a new person on your payroll in your organization, or if you hire like an interim. But that is what I'm doing. So I'm going with a contract to be a part of customers team. What benefits there is, well, what separates you hiring a people on payroll or hiring a person on payroll or making a contract with interim? Basically, with interim, you can say in 1 hour, okay, I don't like you, or we are not happy with your services, goodbye. And next hour, I won't be there anymore. When you hire a person on payroll, and if that person is not performing in that role, there is likely to be like a big gap in your transformation schedule, because then you need to find another task in your organization for that person and start the slow recruiting process all over again. So that is, I think, the main difference between hiring a person and making a contract with interim. And usually also interims are people who have broad experience from different type of industries, or specifically from that role. So they are more experienced perhaps than the people that are applying for employee position.
Yeah. Thanks, Mila. Thanks for your time and thanks for sharing your insights. And I think happy Global PMO Day for you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Take care.